Hello, everyone, and welcome to Behind the Magic episode 8. Unfortunately, Eric isn't here to join us today because he got caught up with some stuff, which is all good. He will be with us next week, probably hosting his own solo episode, so it's fair. I'm Dylan Young, and today we have a very special guest. He's one of the young magicians like us. He's recently been on Canada's Got Talent and did an incredible job on there. It's Magic Ben, everyone.
Hello.
So thank you so much for joining us, Ben. So there's probably a few people who don't know who you are and aren't familiar with the work. So to start off, can you just introduce yourself and tell us how you got into magic?
For sure, yes. My name is Benjamin Deziel. My stage name is Magic Ben, and I've been doing magic since I'm 9 years old, so it's been almost 11 years. Actually, we're the 14th today. Today is my 11th year that I've been doing magic.
Oh.
And I started magic when I was 9. When my parents got married, they invited a magician to their wedding. And he was doing the linking rings routine. He was linking the rings together and unlinking them. And I remember just freaking out and just being like, what? How does he do that? The magician kept telling us there was no hole in the ring. So I ran to my dad and I said, Dad, he keeps telling us there's no hole in the ring. How is that possible? My dad told me, well, young man, if you want to know, you're going to have to become a magician. And right on, I was hooked by magic and haven't stopped since. So it's been great.
Nice. 11 years. Well, that is a long time.
It was beautiful 7 years.
11 years. Any magicians in particular who inspired you or you just really look up to?
Oh, yes, 100%. There was actually Sean Farquhar has always been a magician that I absolutely loved. I remember I met him when I was 12 years old. So I was competing at a smaller magic convention in Quebec City in Quebec in Canada. And I remember just before we went, they came out with the artist list, and I saw that Sean Farquhar was there. I was freaking out. I said to my dad, I really, really, really need to meet him, take a picture, have an autograph, some sort of interaction with Sean. And I'm at the festival, and I see this tall guy, and I was 12. I was much shorter, and I see this tall guy, and I look at my dad, and I'm like, Dad, that's him. I'm going to go ask for a picture. So my dad goes, go for it. So I tap him on the arm. He turns around, he's like, hello. And I'm like, oh, hi, sir. Could I please have a picture with you? And he goes, oh, my name is not sir, my name is Sean. And I said, well, my name is Ben. And then we took a picture, and we had a little bit of a chat. And then, that was a great moment. And funny story, what happened is that just before COVID happened, February 2020, I actually got to open for him in Whitehorse in the Yukon.
Wow.
So in Western, I got to open up for him. So that was fantastic how it started when I met him when I was 12 at a magic convention. And something like 9 years later, I got to be the opening act for a big show in Whitehorse. That was just crazy. So
wow, that is incredible.
One of the greatest inspirations for my magic for sure.
Nice. That's incredible. I was going to say next is let's talk about Canada's Got Talent because this is Canada's Got Talent, but for me it's accent.
I have an accent too in French.
Let's go. We don't like Americans. No Americans for once. There we go.
English is my third language, so we'll try our best.
Oh yeah, it's going great so far. What I was gonna say is, Canada's Got Talent. Can you tell us why you are into Canada's Got Talent, like the preparations you went through, and how you think it went?
Definitely. So, what happened is, I met my manager in 2021. And I moved to Saskatchewan, so another province, in 2022. And when I met him, he told me I should go on Canada's Got Talent. And it has always been a dream for me to appear on some sort of Got Talent episodes. But Canada's Got Talent, they had one season back in 2011, and then they didn't have any until 2021 or 2022. So I never really thought about doing Canada's Got Talent. I thought about maybe doing America's Got Talent or Britain's Got Talent or France's Got Talent, another Got Talent. But when I saw that the Canadian one was coming back, I said, this is my chance. I got to do this. So quick side note, I grew up in a small Inuit community in northern Quebec, so in the Canadian Arctic. But it's a community that is only accessible by plane, and there are no trees. So I come from the land of no trees. It is tundra, infinity tundra. It's the Canadian Arctic. So we always said that I was really close to Santa Claus. But so it was very important for me that I could represent the Canadian Arctic on the show. So this is what I told the producers of Canada's Got Talent. I said, listen, the reason I'm here is because I want to show to all the kids living in the Canadian Arctic, in all those communities that are only accessible by plane, that it doesn't really matter where you come from in life. Because I come from there, and now today I'm on Canada's biggest stage. And if I can do it, that means that anybody else can do it. And they like the story, they like the idea, and I said, well, this is why I'm here. And it was fantastic. The auditions, it went great. Got a standing ovation of 5,000 people.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That is a crazy feeling. And then the semifinals, that was fantastic. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I got people from the east, the north, the south, and west just coming to watch me. So that was just fantastic. I recommend, if you have the chance, please, 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 please try it, because you'll make friends for life. That's the first thing. You'll make friends for life. You'll make contacts for life, and you get to share what you love. So me, I was blessed. I was blessed by the universe that I had the opportunity to do it. So please, anybody, if you have the chance to do it, you have to do it.
You heard that? You heard that, guys? Right from our podcast, you heard that. If you have the chance to go on the talent show, like one of the big ones, Britain's Got Talent, America's Got Talent, that, go on. What I was going to say is, how I actually saw you was on YouTube. It was your audition. Because I like watching like magic performances on like talent shows, like those talent shows in my spare time. It was on my recommended. And yeah, it was. I'm like, oh, this guy's incredible. I have to get him on the podcast. And then I found your socials, and but anyway.
Well, thank you. This is great. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah. All I was gonna say is, how did the like judging go for? Because I didn't see you make the finals. Do you know much about how the judging worked for that?
Sorry?
Is it just for not making it through the finals? Do you know like how the judging went? Like, did they tell you? Like after your act, or how does the judging system work? Do you know?
Right. So on Canada's Got Talent, I know that each Got Talent have a little bit of a different system, but for Canada's Got Talent, they started. So there's the audition in front of the judges. After that, they had the semifinals, and after that, they had the live finale. So what happens is, let's say I get 4 yeses from the judges. So that's what happened with me. I got 4 yeses from the judges, but then it wasn't a definitive answer if I was going to make it to the semifinals or not. So what the judges would do is, on the last episode of the auditions, which I think is episode 6, what they would do is all the judges would sit down and they'd have the pictures of everybody that they said they got 4 yeses or 3 yeses, right? Everybody they went through.
Okay.
And they would pick the top 16 acts that they wanted to see in the semifinals. And I was blessed by the universe that I was in the top 16 acts. So
that's awesome.
At the end of the episode, they like show this be real of all the acts that we're going to see next week's episode in the semifinals of Canada's Got Talent.
Nice.
I was in there. And after that, in the semifinals, what happens is the judges pick 2 acts they want to send right through to the finale. And then after that, there's a 6-hour window after the episode ends where the Canadian public gets to vote. So it's a Canadian vote. So everybody in Canada was able to vote. And unfortunately, I didn't make it through to the finals. But that's okay, because we have many more secret projects coming up that I'm excited for the world to see. So that's how it works.
We're lagging for a bit. We good now? Can you see me? Can you hear me?
I can see you, but you're lagging.
All right, we're good. All right. We have a bit of a lag there. All right. Anyway, yeah. What I was gonna say next is, are you considering going like other talent shows as well? Maybe even Flawless, or what do you think about that?
Here's what I'll say. There's some things I'm allowed to talk about. There's some things I'm not allowed to talk about.
Okay. Exclusive content. I like that. Yeah.
It's good. It's a great question. And yes, you will see me again. You will see me. I'm not going to say in which country.
Okay. Yeah.
Because now we're moving to international. So now I was on national TV, and me and my manager were working. We worked on different things, and now we're moving to international. So I'm filming something in August. That is all I can say. It will come out in the next year. So I'm quite excited about that, and definitely I would love to go on Fool Us. I know that it's been a couple seasons that has been happening, but it's definitely yes, some secret projects coming up. This is what I'll say.
Oh, there we go. See, this is why you listen to our podcast. You get exclusive insights. You get the behind the scenes of magic. Behind the magic. There we go. All right, let's move on to our first segment. We're still working on like flashy slides and everything. But
Excellent. That's awesome.
funny gig stories. Give us your funniest gig story right
Oh,
now.
funniest gig story. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good question. Okay, I'll tell you this. When I first moved to my man, so what happened is when I was under new management, when I got a new manager, I moved to his house with his kids in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. So I left like halfway across the country. I moved out with a guy I didn't know, but he had 2 kids and a wife, so I figured I'd be all right. I landed. So I landed. I flew there, and when I landed, he picked me up at the airport, put my luggage in the car, and then he pulled up on the side of the road. He said, "Get out of the car, put your suit on. You have a show in 20 minutes."
Oh,
I said, "I just landed." He said, "Exactly. We were sleeping on the plane. Now it's time to perform." I said, "Okay, that's great. I'm cool for it." So I got out of the car, put my suit on. I have this beautiful red suit. I love wearing the red suit I wear on Canada's Got Talent. It's my signature suit. I love the red. So
yeah.
I'm putting that on, get everything ready. He drives me to the country club. I was doing a private event at the country club at that point, which I didn't know about. But that summer, I did well. That's not true. It wasn't that summer. So I landed on June 22nd, and from June 22nd to about August 5th, I did 64 shows across 5 provinces.
Wow.
I was on the plane almost every day. And the stories, oh my God, I'm trying to think. Like, there was one time where I was doing a show, and I'm from the north, right? I'm from the Canadian Arctic. I lived in different Indigenous communities, and they have different beliefs over there. So that's always a little bit iffy to play with. But I remember this one time where I'm doing a show, and there's a lady that brought her Bible. She brought her Bible, and she had the Bible, and she was reading the Bible in the front row of my show. And it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, things are a little bit weird because I speak 3 languages. I speak French, English, and Inuktitut, which is the Inuit language. So doing shows over there, it's always a bit different, right? I'm trying to think of a funny story. Jeez Louise, I'm doing every show, like, for example, on Canada's Got Talent, when I was doing my auditions, Lily Singh said, "Okay, Harry Potter." And you can
Yeah.
so much. You can hear me laugh so much. But what's funny is the way that they cut it is that I didn't laugh because of the Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But I laughed because she will jerk on the card. Because I usually ask. So the reason that we asked about to write like something mean was because it was part of my story. I was getting bullied a lot, being the only kid of my color in the north. So she rolled jerk, and when she rolled jerk, she said she made Cardinal run away, and that made me laugh so much. But they cut it that I said it after Harry Potter, which was pretty funny.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
Just like that. I think that's all I got for you, my friend. I mean, I do so many shows.
No, that's great. That's great. When you were saying that the lady like against the magic, like she's saying like, "Oh, this isn't real. This,
You have to repeat.
I don't believe in this witch." Like, in what way do you mean by she was reading the Bible? Like in a way to like mock you, or
that she was reading the Bible?
oh, when she was reading the Bible, was she doing it in the way like, "Oh, keep this magic, this witchcraft away from me"?
Exactly. It's like, get that witchcraft away from me. It's like as if I'm using supernatural powers when I'm performing Cards Across.
Wow, that's okay. That's
You know what I mean? Like, it's very many people have the different beliefs.
Yeah.
And it's always fun to see at every show what kind of people you'll meet and what kind of interactions you'll have. But it's always fun. Like, another trick that I love to perform is from Sean Farquhar, actually. Sherlock Holmes. I don't know if you've heard of Sherlock Holmes, a comedy book test.
I don't think so.
Where you
Give us some context. Yeah.
a book, and then you're back to back, and you have another book, and you're reading, and it's like a joke to the audience.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah, so I perform that in my show, and it's always a fun time because you never know what can happen. Sometimes the people are like super amazed, and sometimes the people are like, is this a joke? And then you have kids in the audience yelling, "He has another book!" And I'm looking at the kids, and I'm like, like, you know, it's always things like that, like little jokes. But I'm more of a close-up magician, so it's more the interactions that I have. I like to play. I like to do a lot of crowd work. So always playing with their experiences and maybe their jokes they're making, putting that in the show and in the close-up that I'm performing, right?
That's so good. That's so good. And speaking of tricks I perform, this leads us to our next question. What are your top 5 magic tricks in under 5 minutes? And these can be in no particular order. So yeah, let's get the clock going.
Hey, let's get the clock going.
Hit us with number 5.
I'm gonna say these are not in specific orders because I won't be able to pick.
Yeah, no particular order. Yeah, no particular order. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Total Coincidence by Juan Tamariz.
Yes.
In his book Sonata, I think that is, you cannot find better than this. I think every time I have done this trick in a close-up show, I never do this trick in a walk-around situation. I don't think it's suitable. But in a sit-down close-up performance, I have got a standing ovation every time I've performed this routine. I think it is fantastic. Wow. I think Juan Tamariz is a master, and by his books, by his books. Second trick, I'm gonna say Sherlock Holmes. I love Sherlock Holmes. I perform it at every show that I do. I think it's a perfect book test. It's a perfect comedy routine. It's a perfect opener. I believe it's a perfect opener. I always start my show with that routine. I think it's fantastic. Sean Farquhar, when I met him, I told him that I love this trick. He showed me how it worked. And now today, and I love it. And I start my show by explaining, when I do this routine, I explain that it is not my routine. It is a routine by my favorite magician of all time, Mr. World Champion of Magic, Sean Farquhar. Everybody claps. And I talk about the fact that I opened for his big show in Whitehorse, and now he gave me permission to do this routine, and then I open up my show with this, and I love it. So that's a second one. Ambitious card routine. I think ambitious card routine is suitable for almost any scenario. I love it. This is what a performer on Canada's Got Talent. It's one of the first routines that I've learned, and I've been working on it since I'm very young. I don't know if I have it here. I actually just got another glass block engraved because I have a wedding tomorrow.
So, oh wow, nice. That's cool.
So I'm gonna be doing that. So I have a picture of the bride and the groom on it.
Oh, nice.
I think it's perfect. It's a perfect gift for the people that hired you. People get to see it because you know how people always ask, show it to me again, and you're not supposed to perform a trick twice. Well, with Ambitious, it's perfect. You can just do it again with a little bit of a different variation, right?
Exactly.
Maybe you bend the card. Maybe you put the card upside down inside the deck and it visually jumps. So many things are possible with that trick, and I love it. Okay, I believe I have 2 left.
Yep, that's right. 2 more.
Ghostly Linking Finger Rings by Joe Porper.
Okay, tell us about this.
Ooh, I think it's one of the best magic routines that have ever been created. Why? Because it's impossible. It's an impossible routine for the spectators because everybody in the audience has at least. There's always a couple of people that have seen the linking rings.
Yep.
So I tell them, I say, tonight I don't have my linking rings. So let's use your rings. Okay. And I always see people in the front row go like, what? And then I talk and I say, I ask the audience, I say, I'd like to borrow, maybe if there's a gentleman on this side of the room that'd like to borrow, if I could borrow a gold wedding band or ring or something, and maybe a lady on this side, anything. And I end up with 3 rings and I visually link them together. I blow on one. And you can see one of the rings melt through the other rings and fall into my hand.
Ooh, okay.
It's extremely visual. It is fantastic. Now, I don't think you can find the Ghostly Linking Finger Rings by Joe Porper. I think it's sold out since like 2003 or something like that.
Oh, okay, yeah. But
there's an amazing book. If you'll just give me a second, it's right there. I'll just pick it up.
Here we go.
It's crazy that I talk about this and the book is sitting right here. I'm not in my library. I'm not even at home right now. I'm on the road, but I have this in my bag. Magic with Finger Rings by Jerry Menser. It's a book from 1984. I highly recommend. Yes, it will teach you the rings. So that's a routine that I absolutely love. Once again, every time I've performed this routine, standing ovation. It is a perfect finale.
Oh.
And I believe I have one more, yes?
Yes, last one. Final trick, yeah. You got 30 seconds.
I got 30 seconds? Okay, I'm going to pick Spontus 360. It is a levitation and it is a big illusion.
Yeah.
So what it is, levitation of a random spectator from the audience. And I think it's fantastic. I have the smoke machines in the back that start. The lady lays on the table. And and I start speaking to her, and I start to tell her to imagine like she's a little bird, and she's as light as a bird, and she'll slowly start to float. And from the audience perspective, she is floating. And what's amazing, it's a 360-degree illusion.
Oh,
I have sometimes a choir of 10, 15 people in the back.
that's
And
cool.
they can take a look around and they see that there's nothing to be seen, no magnets, no lift, no threads, nothing. It's a pure magic illusion. So I think those are my top 5. I hope I did this in under 5 minutes.
There we go. You went about 15 seconds over time, but we'll give it to you. We've had people go like over. We've had people talk like 2 minutes on like one. Yeah, we've had some. I think you've probably done it the best so far, which is good.
Excellent. Anyway, learn those tricks. If you want strong magic, beautiful magic that I've performed for at least, I've probably done all of these for over 400, 450 shows. And they have like this. So
that's incredible. All right. That leads us to our next segment, Desert Island Magic Books. Now, I'm stealing all these ideas from a Penguin Magic podcast. So, Eric, sorry. But, so yeah, Desert Island Magic Book. So, you're washed up on the desert islands with one magic book. What is that magic book? Oh, and so just to give you some context, there's an island. It has a bunch of people. They're all laymen. You're the only magician. There's a magic shop. They have all gimmicks and tricks and everything. They just don't have any books.
They don't have any books?
So they have no books. So the book you wash up in is the only book.
Only
on
one.
The island. Only one magic book.
You make my life hard. One book?
Yeah, so one magic book. One. And it can't be Tarbell, can't be Tarbell series. It has to be one book. Okay. It can't be a series.
Book?
One book.
And I have no magic knowledge?
Oh, that's actually a good question. That's actually a good question. Yeah, you have. I
have a little bit.
Yeah, you know. Okay. Yeah, you know what you're doing. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good question. I have a library of it's between 300. Big library. I like my library. I think it's big enough for now. Okay. I'm a card magician, so I'm gonna go with the card book. I think I have to go with Mnemonica.
Yes.
By Juan Tamariz. Because honestly, yes. I'm not even going to talk about it. It's
not good.
The possibilities become endless. Once you learn Mnemonica, the possibilities, they become endless. You can do anything you want. And I'm talking about one trick in the book. I'm talking about mnemonicosis.
Yes, that is the best trick.
You are set for life. You are good. You're good to go. You can perform the strongest magic in history. So I think I have to say, if I'm stuck on an island and there's only laymen and there's a magic shop and there's only one book I can bring, I'm bringing Mnemonica by Master Juan Tamariz.
Yes, that is an incredible choice. That is perfect because it's just like you said, the amount of possibilities you can do. That sets you for your card set pretty much. That's just like all you need to do, and you're guaranteed a good reaction.
Like, every time.
We've had people say Tarbell. I'm like, no, one book, and
Tarbell is a brilliant choice. I'm saying Mnemonica, and it don't is only card magic. That's because I'm mainly a card magician. But Tarbell is a good choice. Even honestly, when you asked me, I almost said Card College, and then you said no series. You said no
College as well.
Card College, and I was gonna say you can bring the lightest and all of them.
I know there's so many volumes now. There's like, I believe, is it 5 of the normal one, and then there's like the 3, and then the 3 lights. Yeah.
I think lights. I don't
something like that. Yeah,
something like that. There's a lot of books.
I actually agree with Mnemonica. I'm surprised no one said that yet. I would, because I'm also a card magician, so I probably would choose Mnemonica as well.
Yes.
Knowing that I don't know what Mnemonica is, if I did go on the island, and I'll just learn everything from there. But yeah, viewers, all the listeners, all the watchers, get Mnemonica right now. Like, if you do card magic and you're not performing Mnemonica, just quit magic, leave. Just,
you know what?
Go.
I might change my mind.
Oh, here we go.
I might change my mind. I recently read a new book. I just finished it. And I think right now it's my favorite book. It's my favorite book of right now. In 5 years, we'll see. of all time, of the 11 years I've done Magic, Mnemonica is my favorite. But I've just finished reading Freedom of Expression by Danny De Ortiz.
Yes.
And
I want to get that.
is,
I don't have it.
It's not an easy book. It's not a question of technique. It's not a question of what you can accomplish with the deck of cards. Well, it's not a question of what you can accomplish technically. It's a question of the way that psychologically you can. I don't know. I can't talk too much. I don't want to talk too much. But it's either Freedom of Expression or Mnemonica, depending on the day. That's what I'll say.
Okay, yeah. A little bit of a context. Yeah, Freedom of Expression kind of goes around. It's not your typical card Magic book. It's
not a typical card Magic.
Do with. I'll give you. Yeah, forcing. The force is the hint I'll give you.
Exactly. It's very specified. But I feel like you can go a long way with that book. It is a book that will study for the rest of my life, of my time in this life.
Is it out of print, or can you still get it? Because I want to get myself a copy.
I still get it.
Okay, so I'll have a look after this because I really want myself.
We'll talk more. I think I have a second copy. We'll talk more.
Sweet, awesome. Thank you. Sounds good. Speaking of Danny De Ortiz, let's talk about him for a bit because I feel like he's recently gone really popular after his Full Loss. Like a lot of people are also like, oh yeah, my favorite magician is Danny De Ortiz. And I feel like everyone's just saying that because of his Full Loss. But Danny's he's been around a lot longer than that. And all this stuff is so like you can't really duplicate it. Like you can do the tricks, but you can't perfect as he can because first of all, a lot of his like and the way you interact with people, the way you because a lot of the moves are risky, if you know what I mean by that. A lot of the tricks are risky. If you so what I'm trying to say is, can you let's talk a bit about Magic Theory.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about Magic Theory, and how has it helped you?
For example, that's a very good question. Like you said, that Danny De Ortiz went on Fool Us, and now the world exploded. And that's awesome. I love that for Danny. But like you said, Danny's been around for a while. And Danny is a fantastic creator. And if I'm going to give a little golden nugget here. Ooh. I'm going to give a golden nugget to the viewers. And I don't know, maybe you know this. I found on Penguin Magic a PDF of Danny De Ortiz. It is called The Card and Bottle. I have it. There's no videos. There are no videos of this. I cannot find any videos of this. Maybe there are, but I can't find them. It is a PDF. It is called Card and Bottle. And you're talking about being risky? Ooh. It's risky, but it's brilliant. And I'm just going to put that out there. If some of you want to learn a routine, Card and Bottle by Danny De Ortiz. It's a PDF. You won't find any videos. You won't find any trailer for it or nothing. You have to dig a little bit, but once you dig, you'll find. So that's a little golden nugget. And in the Magic Theory,
okay,
that makes me think of what I just read in Freedom of Expression. Danny says in Freedom of Expression, and don't quote because that's not exactly, I'm just from my memory.
Yeah.
You're going to read this book, and I'm going to tell you some things and some techniques that you can use, and you're going to think to yourself, are you crazy, Danny? And he's like, and if you don't believe it, that's fine. If you don't believe that would work, then don't do it. But if you do believe that it would work, if you actually believe, then do it and you'll see that it works. And when I read that, I was like, oh, wow. Whoa.
Yeah.
That's what made me believe in everything. And I've been using Danny's style of magic, the risky style of magic, that's the kind of magic that I love.
Same.
Because it's not only doing magic for the audience, I feel like it's doing magic for me. Because, for example, if I ask you, can you name 1, 2, 3, or 4?
4.
And you name 4. That is magic for me. Because I know you're going to name 4. And when it works, it does magic for me. Because it's a risk. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's something that I love. And that I've been doing all my magic life without knowing that it was a thing. And then when I started studying Danny's work, that's when I noticed that, holy crap, this is an actual thing, right? That I didn't know that I was doing, but I was doing it a little bit. Not as much as Danny, of course, but to a certain level. And now studying his work, It's just fantastic. It's like, I can't remember where I read this, but I read somewhere that, like Juan Tamariz told Danny de Ortiz that his magic was sometimes too strong for laymen. Like, that's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
People don't realize that the kind of magic that he does is like, it's pure. It's pure magic. I don't know what else to say. It's pure. It's pure. It's real. It is raw and it is real and it is happening right now. Everything is happening right now. He picks up a deck of cards. It's been mixed. Doesn't matter. He will make it happen. The show must go on. And that's like, and he will use any kind of psychology for that. And that's just. Has he beat Master? Has he beat Juan Tamariz?
I mean, that's a discussion.
If he hasn't, he's really close.
This is a discussion for next time we bring you on.
Oh yes, for sure.
But yeah, so we're about out of time. But before we close this off, can we please hear your final words of advice for any young magicians out there who've either seen you on Got Talent or just want to get into magic? What is one piece of advice?
100%. Magic is beautiful. Magic is beautiful because it makes people happy. It makes people laugh. It makes people feel crazy emotions. So please, if you're interested in doing magic, just pick up a deck of cards. Pick up a magic book at a local library. Maybe look up on YouTube some Got Talent videos. Look at some magicians. Maybe you'll be inspired. We don't know. And for the people that are already magicians and they want to continue their career and want to become a professional magician, you push hard. You practice. You don't stop. In my senior year of high school, I was in grade 12. I was putting in 8 hours of magic a day of practice. So I'd wake up at 4 a.m. and at 7, when my family woke up to get ready for school, I had already put in 3 hours of magic that morning of intense reading, mnemonica, and learning and practicing sleights. And I come back from school and I do the same, another 3 hours. Then I give some time for homework. Sometimes I had a little job. You can't do that always, but the days that you can do that, put as much time learning magic as you can. Also, read magic books. Magic books, you will never find anything better than books.
Yep.
In our generation,
gyms.
On the internet, it's easy to go on their phone. It's easy to go on YouTube. I understand. I'm part of this generation. But there's nothing better than opening a book and finding gems. If you have the chance to go to magic schools, magic camps, anything. I went to Tannen's Magic Camp in 2018 in Philadelphia. It was the greatest time of my life. Please, if you have the chance, you need to go. I don't want to, I can't stress this enough. If there's opportunities that come in your life, you have to take them. The power of manifestation is huge. Some people ask me, you were living in the Canadian Arctic. You had no resources. There wasn't even trees there. There was no roads to get there. Only fly in and fly out. How did you make it on Canada's biggest stage? There's only one way. The power of manifestation. I believed that I would do great things. I believe that I will do great things. I believe in my magic. I believe in myself. I love myself. I love my magic. And every opportunity that comes, I take it. And it brings you a long, long way. So take the opportunities, be yourself, and enjoy life. Life is beautiful. And do some magic. Magic is our life.
Wow. I'm turning that into a highlight reel on Instagram right there. And that is see, this is why, guys. I was so excited to have you on. This has been such a great episode. If I'm being honest, this has probably been one of my favorites. I mean, I've talked with some great magicians, but Ben, this has been incredible. This has been so good. I thank you so much for coming on. Guys, I'm going to link all his socials and I'll link his Canada's Got Talent videos. Go watch them. They're just, I'm not going to say anything. They're just incredible. It's just so good. I'm speechless. But yeah, so I'll link all his socials and everything. I'll link mine. Sorry, we're a bit behind this week. This will be going up for next week. So thank you so much, Ben, for coming on, and we'll see you guys next time.
And subscribe.
Thank you, Ben. See you guys.